Hey everyone, it's BuzzRail96 here. Welcome to another Train Sim World 4 livestream. Hope you're doing well out there and have had a good start to a new week. For today's livestream, we're taking a look at something reasonably new, brand spanking new from my perspective, and that is a route I have been very much looking forward to getting my grubby little hands on, and that is the first true Austrian route in Train Sim World, or a route contained within the borders of Austria, and that is the Semmeringbahn route. So we're going to go into the journey mode here, and we're going to do, I think, the first passenger service on this chapter here, and that is a passenger service, an express service, which goes from Muschelschlag to Wiener Neustadt Hauptbahnhof. So let's get going. I'll just get the live chat up a second on my phone. Let's get that one up there. There we go. Hi, Saito Kin. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. I'm very well, thank you. Hope you're good. Okay. So this is the 5:22 a.m. express passenger service, but when I say express, it's not what you think it is. This will be going from Graz to Wien Hauptbahnhof, but obviously we're taking over the service at Muschelschlag and going as far as Wiener Neustadt. Right, let's do the setup procedure. Before we do go further, I need to put on the motion blur to aid the stream's performance. There we go. Right, so set the train brake to number 2. Reverse the handle to in to the forward position. Put the train lights on. I'll have the high beams to normal, as the sun has not appeared in the sky just yet. And we will have the signal lights set to the headlight position. Right, let's unlock the doors to allow the passenger boarding procedures to commence. So then, here we are at Muschelschlag. Now our attraction, obviously the main star of the show, so to speak, is a familiar face, the Taurus locomotive. This is the Österreich Bundesbahn 1116. I do like the Taurus locomotive family, I must admit. This one in particular is by far my favourite. Not only Dovetail have gone to town with the sounds, they've changed the sounds of the cab, the exterior as well, so you can hear the locomotive powering up and getting up to speed and hearing that melodic or musical theme as it accelerates from 0 to, I think, 15 kilometers per hour. It's much, much better, clearer sounds than way back when we had the DBBR 182 on Rapid Transit, I think it was. God, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And the best bit about it, this locomotive, is the fact that Dovetail have actually changed the layout here of the desk and the cab. So they could have just left it, pretty much bog standard, like we've had with the 182. VMRCE variant as well. Those versions had old school dials, like you have here and here and here. With the OBB variant, you have a little computer screen here and here. You can actually, speaking of those old school dials, you can increase the brightness, and you can also increase the brightness on that screen, which is very, very bright for my liking. I think that will do. You can also change it from white to black. Let's lock the doors. So let's take a look around the station then before we do go any further. So the PIS displays work. That's good. Look at the weathering of this locomotive here at the top. That's pretty good. Now let's get on to the coaches. They are very similar-ish to the DBBR 182 coaches. 182, the 101, sorry, intercity coaches. And that's because this bad boy here conducts 4, I think. Is it 4 or is it 5? I think it's 4 types of passenger services you can do on this route. Eurocity, Intercity, which is non-stop runs from Mutterschlag to Wiener Neustadt. You can do railjet services, which caught me by surprise, and that is also end-to-end with no stops in between. But this service I'm doing here is known as, in the timetable, the D type of passenger service. There's only 3 of them, 1 in the early morning and 2 late at night. They have a few stops. So we're going to be stopping at Semmering, Peerbach, Rickenau, Glognitz and Wiener Neustadt, which is quite cool. And speaking of the coaches, you know, they look good, you know, exterior, the interior, I like the compartments, and the livery looks pretty good on them. The one disappointing thing is that there's no first class coach, there's only second class coaches, I think. So why they've just why Dovetail choose to, well, decided to stick with just, you know, second class coaches instead of doing, you know, the full set, I'm not really sure. So right, let's have a look at Mutterschlag station. So you got the little town here, there's a little town centre. You know, the buildings and stuff, you know, I'm not going to moan and groan and complain about it. I expected that most of the buildings would be pretty much the same. Copy and paste, pretty much. You got a little lumber yard here, it seems. We've got some trucks filled with logs. Some logs there on the ground. That's interesting. The landscape as well don't look too bad, particularly in this early morning light. Fair few trees dotted around, and the mountain over there, which is where we will be heading, it's nice to see. That's accurately modelled, according to Dovetail, using some sort of I don't know what tech it is, but it's something, you know, that maps. I think it's like using satellite imagery or data to map the topography of the landscape, you know, mountains and so on and so forth. And it does look pretty good in broad daylight. Obviously, at the moment, we are hard to see it in true detail because we're not that close to it. Got the OBB sign here. This is the car park by the looks of it. The road don't look too shabby. I've certainly seen worse. PIS boards, it seems, work on all the other platforms when the train obviously is approaching or not too far from the station. You've got the OBB logo here. This is, I think, a little drop-off pickup point for buses. So it's pretty good, you know. You can get off the train and, well, imagine and pretend that a bus. I think OBB actually run their own buses, which is interesting. You've got a little cabin here. Is that for the workers, the railway staff? Who knows? Got the car park. Not too shabby, big car park. Right, let's get on to the my pet peeve with this route, really, and that's this little fella. This is the Österreich Bundesbahn 4024 Talent 1 electric multiple unit. Yes, we've had it for nearly a year. It's now on 3 routes: S-Bahn, Vorburg, Salzburg, Rosenheim, and now the Semmeringbahn. Should we have had a city railjet instead of this? 110%. I had a little play with it earlier today. It is exactly identical to the version on Salzburg Rosenheim and S-Bahn Vorburg. Nothing is new in any way, shape or form. No new sounds, no new physics changes, no differences in the cab or in the passenger compartments with the exterior. I think the only major difference is Obviously, you get the PIS destinations displays for, Wiener Neustadt or Mutterschlag, or maybe some virtual destinations off the map. So that's a bit of a disappointment, but at least you can operate some, different types of railjet express or non-express services. Right, that's me mumbling out and away with. Let's lock. Have we locked the doors? Here we have. That's quite good as well. You've got destination displays in paper form. Isn't that cool? I never noticed that. It's really, really cool. It's like going back to the old days when I think Great Western Railway, or what was it, First Great Western, they used to have those little cards in the doorway or in the windows. I think trains running from like Penzance or Bristol to or Oxford to London Paddington. That was when I used to go in and out of London a lot in my teenage years. It sounds good. It doesn't sound too bad. It really doesn't. And because this is a kind of the only, I suppose, stopping service you can do with the 1116 tourist locomotive, it only has 4 coaches. With the, I think the. Let me get my facts right here. I think with the Eurocity and Intercity and the railjet services, they are with I think 7 or 8 BMZ coaches. So a little bit about the route as to what will you get. This route is 68 kilometers long, which is much longer than the train simulator version. I think the train simulator version covered the Semmering Pass itself from Mutterschlag to Glognitz. This has obviously been extended to Wiener Neustadt. You get 17 stations and lots of tunnels and viaducts. I think I haven't even counted how many tunnels and viaducts. So if you've got a piece of paper, or you want to jot down on your phones or tablets or desktop computers as to how many tunnels and viaducts we encounter on this journey, feel free to do that. And what's also cool about it is it's almost like you get 2 routes in one. So you get a very slow, tough mountain pass to correct. Lots of curves, slow speed, fair few stations in the mountain pass area as well. And it's particularly challenging with the freight. Especially in difficult conditions, like if you want to throw in some rain or snow, then you're certainly up for a challenge. We're struggling to get up to speed here with just 4 coaches. My God, we're not providing enough power. And then you've got the almost like, I suppose, racetrack style version after you've tackled the majority of the Semmering Pass all the way to Wiener Neustadt. It's pretty high speed. I think it's like 140, 160 kilometers per hour. So that's why I like it. I've always liked the Semmering Pass. It's really interested me. So to have that kind of 2 experiences in one really appeals to me. Hey Samuel Smith, nice to see you. Hope you're well. Cytokin, they take time to get the proper layers for this onto Vorelbahn, hopefully. I know Dovetail released a patch, huge, massive amount of patches for the German and Austrian routes. What's nice is that the OBB 1116, you can finally use it on S-Bahn Vorarlberg. Not for any passenger services. Sadly, Dovetail have not been able to add any passenger services for the 1116 yet. They say they are looking into it. Whether they'll do so or not, who knows. But you can do it on freight services, which is quite cool. And speaking of freight, you can run freight services with the 1116, the Taurus, on this route, either single or in double headed formations on quite a large variety of services. I mean, oil tankers, cement, manifest, containers, automotive moves, moving cars around, coal, I think, as well, of the Ineos wagons, which was a nice surprise. And yeah, you can even use the Vectron for the freight services if you prefer a different challenge, freight-wise. And as far as other layers, you get a couple of interesting, interesting kind of, I suppose, rail tour type services. The Vectron actually does one express passenger service, which is very unique. I think it's the only service which the Vectron can actually do, a passenger service in the game. The 103, the old 103 from like Link Grindstrecker, that does a rail tour service, and so does the BR Class 47, strangely. I think if you go on the Dovetail website and look at the S-Bahn, Vorarlberg articles, it explains the Semmeringbahn, I should say, articles. It will explain the reasons as to why a BR Class 47 would be featured in this timetable. But yeah, it's a pretty mad one and thrown into the mix, but yeah, I'll certainly look forward to having a go at that, probably later this week. I've been moaning and bumbling away. We're coming up to the first station stop. Obviously we're not going to be stopping it. This is Spittal am Semmering. Pretty much set in the hilly terrain. Nice little shelter. Must be a house, I presume. Like the lights here, look quite cool. Little lamps there. It's a nice, is that a station building? I don't even know if you want to call it a station building. Yeah, it looks good. Don't look too bad. Class 387 Productions, do the passengers have headphones? That's a good question. I don't know. I've seen passengers, they should have headphones on, shouldn't they? They might have headphones. Whether it's headphones plugged into their phones or wireless headphones, I'm not sure, but I think I have seen some passengers with headphones. I have seen passengers with newspaper, cups of coffee and tea and all that kind of stuff. I'm taking it quite slow. Let's increase the pace a little bit. So Semmering, the first station stop, is just over 5 kilometers away, but which really isn't that far actually. It's there. That's an interesting bit there. Looks like the line splits. Ooh, interesting. Looking forward to, is that like a viaduct maybe, or 2 tunnels? I'm not sure. Well, that will be interesting. Sadokin, no cafe car is also very disappointing. Yeah, that's another thing you should have mentioned here. No cafe car. I don't think there was a cafe car on a 101 unless they don't have like a cafe or buffet car anymore. I'm not really sure. I don't know what time period this was actually set in. I think it's meant to be set in the present day. Otherwise, I suppose the Vectron wouldn't be usable. Set it to 30%. Should be okay. When I went on, I think I just did a little random bit of looking around at Mutterschlag, and in particular, I was looking at the little grassy banks, at the side of the track, and I must admit, there is a fair bit amount of 3D grass, which is nice for a change. Some of you who've been around for a long time know, I really get irritated when I see just flat, bland 2D grass textures. It's nice to see some 3D grass for a change. The ballast, I must say, it doesn't look, in daylight, it doesn't look very, very good. I don't know, it needs to be maybe a bit darker or a bit more grayer. I'm not sure, but either way, it don't look good. Thankfully, in this early morning conditions, it doesn't look too horrific. But yeah, some pretty steep gradients. I mean, I think the steepest you can get is 2.5%, which is quite steep. Right, this is going to be interesting. What are we going to encounter? Is it going to be like two long tunnels or viaducts or something like that? I'm just interested because, just the line, the two tracks just suddenly, move apart, and then, yeah, two tunnels. Okay, coolly cool. Dials look good in the cab. It'll be good for night running. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, you can also use the 1116 on a big, huge chunk of services on the Bahnstrecke Salzburg-Rosenheim. It operates 4 Eurocity services and a lot of freight as well. And speaking of timetables, what was a nice surprise is that Dovetail have subbed in the lovely DBBR 642 diesel multiple unit onto another timetable. You can now use it on Bremen-Oldenburg. So if you're sick and tired of using it on Maintalbahn, which isn't a brilliant route, I think that's worse than the Bremen-Oldenburg. Yeah, you can use it on that route as well, and hopefully more to come. And obviously with the DBR 218 releasing tomorrow for Hauptstrecke Hamburg-Lübeck, they've updated that route's timetable as well to incorporate it. I think not just for passenger but freight-wise as well, which is cool. And the 628 can appear as AI as well, if you're interested in that. But yeah, looking forward to the 218 releasing tomorrow. I'm definitely going to pick it up and have a play with it. I'll probably do a stream of it at the weekend. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But here we are, approaching the first station stop, which is Semmering. As you can see, I unlocked the mastery tool there of the old school OBB, can't remember the numbers, I'll remember it in a second. I think it's like 5144 or something like that. Rail car.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Break.
Türfreigabe.
Good deceleration. Eek! This is a good dovetail. Maybe the same old thing on the outside, but they work their magic with the sounds and certainly the way it feels. It just feels really good to operate. So this is Semmering. The whole reason why the Semmeringbahn is around. It's not a bad view. It's not bad at all. And the ambient sounds as well, the birds and stuff. Really nice. Bit of a breeze as well. That's not a bad view, actually. It's not. I've seen worse in Train Sim World. That's not too shabby at all. Has to be said. So let's have a look at Semmering then. This is the old rail car that's on display. I suppose there's a museum little piece here. Don't look too bad. It's weathered quite well. It's the 5144 rail car. Don't know when it was used, probably in the 50s, 60s, maybe 1940s. And this is cool here. There's his geezer, look, he's having a selfie. Fair play to him. Don't look too shabby. A bit disappointing there's no plaque here, you know, of information about the rail car. You know, what's the point having the little rock, stone, piece of stone there if there's no plaque of information? It would be quite cool to have a read up about it. Speaking of reading, there's a person reading in the morning paper. Very, very early for him. Semmering station. Don't look too bad. It would be nice if it was a bit more interactive, you know, going in the interior and that. PIS display works, so that's good. We are running very late, but I'm not too bothered about that. Someone with the suitcase, ready to depart. And you got some sidings down here as well. A couple of tankers here, it seems. A bit of, you know, just crap littered around. That's good. Bags and wheelbarrows and bricks and wood. I think there's like a collectible of like finding some hiking bags or, you know, something, or bags that hikers have left behind, which apparently is the most scenic points of the route, or shows the route in its best light. You know, this isn't too bad. Hopefully you can do some services of it. Doing some shunting maybe. Tankers into position, I suppose you can. You've got the boss, it seems, and workers there ready for their day's duties. No, don't look too bad. Let's wait for the doors to close. There we go. Right, let's go to the next stop, which is Peerbach Reichenau. I think that's how you say it correctly. Let's increase the pace. Right, now we're going to be using the brakes a bit more. A lot more. So this will be a challenge. Ben Davis with the Class 47. Yeah, you can use the Class 47 on one service. I think you have to have the Blackpool variant, no, the Blackpool branches variant of the Class 47 to do its mini rail tour service. I don't know the reason why. I think it was because I don't know. I think it was something to do with after the I'd say shortly after the Second World War or something like that. Like I think just, you know, some European countries in general, I think were in Eastern Europe in particular, were, you know, just desperate for locomotives. I think they just leased some from British Rail, so they just took a Class 47. I imagine they cannibalised it in such a way that it's probably not recognisable as a 47 anymore. But I think I'm not sure. I think I'm going to have to look it up, actually, speaking about it. Otherwise, I don't want to give inaccurate information, do I? That would just be stupid of me. Just let me just see if I can get it up whilst trying to keep the train under control. Bookmarks, favourites, rest of the world, Semmeringbahn. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's this one. Open in the background. There we go. I'll have a look at that. Georgie Zirkov, what's the best DLC for TSW4 quality wise? Oh my god. That's Jeez, that's a tough one. I'd say the best one is easily Blackpool Branches or Niedertalbahn. Definitely. No question. The best route since Train Sim World 4 has been launched. Well, it's got to be Blackpool Branches, isn't it? That released shortly after Train Sim World 4 was launched. But yeah, I'm just trying to look at the Semmeringbahn a minute. Let's just see what I can pick up about the 47. Let's have a look. There we go, V47. Yeah, as I thought. It says here many British locomotives were sold for export. One such example was a Class 47, which made its way to Hungary. It's preserved and in working order to this day, apparently. This 47 that was owned by a Hungarian Railways was known for its annual multi-day trips across the continent, and it too has seen workings on the mighty Semmering Pass. Okay, so yeah, that's why the 47, the Blackpool variant, Class 47, does has a rail tour service. It's a bit strange, but yeah, when you see it on the line, but yeah, it's an interesting touch, that's for sure. Adds a little bit to the route. Static, and hopefully they put some bus there, even a static. Yeah, hopefully they'll put a bus there. And if they've done it before, haven't they? I'm sure they'll do it again. I think even on S-Bahn Vorarlberg, which is mostly set in Austria, has maybe not a OBB branded bus or a red bus even, but yeah, just any bus would be welcome. Oh yeah, agreed. Cytek, having the Vectron is certainly a nice surprise. To operate all of the freight services, be it double-headed or single, and that one passenger service as well. I thought at first it was like a nighttime service, like what you call it? Forget what it's called. Like a night train, passenger service, an overnight one. But yeah, one thing that did interest me about OBB in particular is I was taking a look at their stock. I mean, if you go on the website, they actually do fairly in-depth articles about their traction and their rolling stock, and going on about how eco-friendly this particular train is and such and such. There was one thing about about the coaches. I think it was. I can't remember what it was about. It was I think it was a guide for travelling with OBB in Austria. I'm just trying to have a look at it in the website. I think I mean, there was one article where it was so in depth. I think it was like a PDF of 95 pages as to how to travel in comfort and style with OBB. It was unbelievable. Well, that's the station that's interesting me. Let's have a little peek here. I carry on looking through the website. This is I'm going to butcher this name up. Breitenstein or Breitenstein, not sure. Some empty log wagons there, interesting. He's waiting for his morning, she's waiting for his morning service. That looks cool. Oh, I thought it was a bike rack at first, it's not. Yeah, but there was something about the types of carriages they have, and one of them was OBB actually run coaches that have a compartment for women only, and also for women that want to do breastfeeding with their very young child. You actually have a coach, a complete coach front to back that's dedicated to that area, that activity, so to speak. Breastfeeding, or just have a coach dedicated entirely for women. This is a nice tunnel. I really like the lighting in this one. Going through that tunnel, we're just going through now. The lighting, it just looks really good. It looks really real. It's difficult for me to describe it, but this bit easily is one of my favourites. Points on the route going through this tunnel here. I'm not sure what the tunnel actually is called. I wish Dovetail could actually label the tunnels. It probably actually has a label what the tunnel is actually on the outside. Might do, might not, I'm not sure. Hopefully if we can get out. Yes, we can. Does this tunnel have a name on it on the outside? No, it doesn't, but easily that's one of the best bits about the route, hands down, is that tunnel. Just from the lighting perspective. It just looks so unique, going through a tunnel and you have big gaps of sunlight creeping in. It's pretty cool. Cytokine, 95 pages, who's reading that? I definitely won't read a 95-page document on how to travel on OBB. It literally goes through, God, anything and everything about it. It's literally a guide for travelling with, OBB. You have definitions, conditions of the carriages, travelling on their trains and buses, carrying luggage, items, animals, your rights to an event of a delay or cancellation of a train, transport of motor vehicles, liability, lost objects, applicable law, ticket offers, what else? Customer groups and discounts, that includes infants, children, adults, passengers with disabilities, wheelchairs, dogs, bicycles, vehicles on OBB Turin motorway. Ridiculous. And then obviously they have lots of terms and conditions, as you can imagine, for a 95-page document. But I mainly just peeked through the document just to see what the descriptions are for the short abbreviations for their types of passenger trains. Because on the timetable there was one that just said D for a passenger service. I was like, well, what does the word D mean? And and in the end it meant D-Zug, which is I think German or Austrian for express, which is this type of service I'm doing here. There's only 3 you can do. But it's only a nice, different, slower type of service with the 1116, where you stop at, well, more than just one station, which on the other passenger services would be just Wiener Neustadt, but it's nice that you can stop at the likes of Semmering and Peerbach, Wiekenau, etc. So that's quite cool. You get a nice kind of slow cruise down to the bottom of the pass. Would be nice, hopefully, if we can not only have more Austrian routes, but have a city jet or a rail jet added to the Semmeringbahn. That would increase its appeal even more, and certainly bump up the Semmeringbahn route on my list of favourites. That's for sure. Just under 4 kilometres to go until Peerbach Riekenau. Let me say correctly. Not too far. I think the European Championships are going on this evening. Is it? Yes, 2 matches tonight. Group B, I think. Croatia, which is actually beating Italy, and Albania losing to Spain with Ferran Torres, the scorer. Fair enough. Obviously, Austria having a good tournament since we're on an Austrian route. They beat was it Poland 3-1 the other day. What station is this? This is Klam Schotvin. Yeah, got some 3D grass. I approve of that. Scattered along the side of the track here. It's an interesting building. Is that a station building? Gotta be, surely. Look at that. That's not a bad view, you know. Dovetail have not done a bad job with the distant scenery. For once, I could say it looks decent. Is it beautiful? Different bits of sunlight, I imagine it is. But it don't look too bad. Ooh, I've stopped the train completely. Oopsie daisy. Should be okay. We should get up to speed reasonably quickly. There we go. Too busy looking at the view. Let the train, let the very steep gradient do the rest for me in terms of increasing the train's acceleration. Right, I'll say the usual YouTube shenanigans. If you'd enjoyed the stream so far and you like what you see or hear or heard so far, then feel free to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you are watching for the first time, be it live on playback, and I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. The next stream will be on Hauptstrecke Hamburg-Lübeck, where we're taking a look at the tomorrow soon to be brand spanking new DBBR 218 from Train Sim Germany. That is going to be a classic. I can tell it's going to be a classic. You know, when you have a product from TSG coming along, you rub your hands together because you know it's going to be good. And so far, the products he's released, you know, is from his Vossler G6 shunter to the Niedertalbahn. I think he had a hand in the 101 development as well, which is pretty good as well. And yeah, you know you're in for a treat. It is a bit steep though, for 218. That's coming out tomorrow. I mean, £15 in the UK. That's a lot for a locomotive, I must admit. Certainly the price. I think the prices have increased. I think before it used to be like £11.49 on the PlayStation, and even recently, you know, with the Vectron, it used to be I think £12.99 on PlayStation, and now it's going to be £14.99. It's not a massive increase, but it is an increase, and that's something which I'm sure we debated about in the comments and forums of its respective streams and videos and articles about it, etc., etc. Are we there yet? Nowhere near. God, it feels like this journey's taking forever. I think if you want to do a run like a proper express service with the tourist locomotive from either Mutterschlag to Wiener Neustadt, or you know vice versa, non-stop, it will take you just under an hour. With the Talent 1, I'm not sure. I haven't tried it yet or timed it. But yeah, once we've done this service, we'll take the Talent 1 out for a quick spin. See what you can do with it. I think you could do some empty stop moves as well. both the Taurus locomotive and the Vitalant one, which is good. Km/h sign there. I mean, it's pretty easy, you know, just controlling the speed of the train. You know, in broad daylight, you know, sunny conditions. But you know, if you had some rain or mist and snow, and obviously maybe a passenger service with more coaches. I've only got 4. You know, try doing Eurocity or Intercity service, you know, in the snow, you know, with nearly, I think it's like 9 coaches, 8 coaches. You're up for a challenge, there can be no question about that. Right, what station is this? We're sneaking past. This is Eekberg? Oh, hello, we've got some wagons here, some Ineos wagons, it seems, ready to be loaded up for the day. Nice. There was one scenario I did earlier which was quite a challenging one, I must admit, where there was a freight service struggling to get up the Semmering Pass, and you had to beat a roll of like a banking locomotive at that station we've just passed, where you couple up to the freight train and actually push it up the hill to reach I think it's the station of Semmering, if I'm not mistaken. But I deliberately did the scenarios, you know, very quickly. I literally scampered through most of them just to try and unlock that mastery tile, because it looked quite interesting. Some of them, you know, some of those mastery scenery tiles, you know, sometimes if they look realistic and add something to the route, I'll unlock it, you know, like that OBB rail car we saw earlier. But if it's like what is it, like a pirate ship being sunken by the Kraken on West Cornwall local, forget it. It's just not realistic. It's fun and it's quite funny, you know, when you drive past on the train and you see a Kraken taking down a pirate ship on the Cornish coast. But it's not very realistic. So yeah, I tend to steer clear from those kind of oddball kind of bits of scenery, let's say. I think just touching on that, I think one of the most odd pieces of scenery tiles I've seen is on what route was it? Switzerland, Espahn Zentralschweiz, where I think the mastery tile was just a big block of cheese. No idea why. Probably was supposed signalling or acknowledging maybe a particular station or village that was home to making a particular type of cheese that was very famous. I'm not really sure. Master Rail Driver, is this route good? Well, it depends what you like. If you like, how do I describe it? I suppose if you like, you know, to operate some challenging passenger services or freight services on a steep, unforgiving, you know, Semmering Pass, you know, kind of like Sandpatch Grade in a way, or Clinchfield Railroad, you know, steep gradients, slow twisting mountain, you know, bends. You know, throw a bit of weather on it, you know, rain, snow, it certainly adds a challenge. And yeah, this route's for you. For me, I really like this route. I liked it before it released. I like the sound of the Semmeringbahn. I've always enjoyed and appreciated the operations that's conducted on it, as well as the you know, reading into the history of it as well. And you know, when I heard it was coming to Train Sim World, I thought, I was like, yeah, this is good. And the fact it was, you know, Dovetail extended the route from, you know, not just having the Semmeringbahn from Mutterschlag to it was like Glognitz, I think it was. So yeah, the fact the original this route is extended it to Wiener Neustadt is a nice touch. There's a trampoline there. I think that's someone's house. Yeah, it is. Must be. I don't care if the train comes to a stop. I just want to look at the station here. Still look bad. The scenery, man. I don't look too shabby. Especially in this early morning light. Look at that. Don't look too bad at all. Got some passengers waiting here. And there's that person's confirmation asking if there was headphones on the passengers. Yeah, they have AirPods. They're white ones. So I presume they're Apple AirPods. Fair play. This is the station of Kub. Or Cub. However you say it. Again, the ambiance with the birds singing away. I like it. I like it a lot. Got a bench there, very appropriately placed, waiting for a car or a bus or just to look at the view. I'd say the latter option. Got a little muddy track here, and someone's house. So yeah, pretty much the station out in the middle of nowhere. Got your two shelters there, of course. I'll have to look at a route map in a second. Not this route map, I meant the route map you can find on this route. When we get to Peerbach-Rieken, I'll see if I can see if there's one there I can unlock. Because it was just something I wanted to touch on when it comes to said route map. Got a achievement on the S-Bahn. The Semmeringbahn. Not sure what it was about, but it was something. Soderkin, speaking of football, since you mentioned it earlier, I wish more sports leagues would include teams from other parts of the world into their schedules. It's difficult. I mean, you've got the Club World Cup, which incorporates the champions either of Europe, South America, North America, Asia, I think as well. They play together. Pre-season, you get some European teams coming over to America or Asia and play their respective club champions in USA or South Korea or Japan or Australia. As far as competitions go, I think that's all you can really do. It's either the Club World Cup or friendlies, really. It's quite difficult to have international teams play in a national league. It's quite complex. There's another freight service. Intermodal. Not too far now, we're coming up to Peerbach-Rieken now. Feels like it's taken forever. But then again, I've been taking it rather easy just to have a look at the sights. See if the route holds up by my intense scrutiny. We got a Talab 1. See if we're doing its local duties or it's in the siding. Yeah, it's in the siding. It's not ready yet. Not ready for its service yet. We are very late. 11 minutes late, but we've made it. That's all that matters. Break.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Right. Let's unlock the doors. Welcome to Peerbach-Rieken now. Oh, look, you've got some buses here then. So they are around. This is Ooh, this is a good area to explore. Right, I want to find a route map poster. I want to find that. Just have a little scout, see if it's even on the platform. PIS display working, good. Don't tell me it's not on the platform. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. It's not on this platform, is it? I don't think it's on this station at all, actually. Was that it there? No. Oh, there it is on the other side of the tracks, though. Oh, should we get out? Let's get out quickly. This route has had a patch released today, so it does fix a few things as well. So, as well as its stability, so it should be okay. Right, this shouldn't be doing this, but forgive me. Just want to take a look at it and unlock it. There we go. So this is the route map. Now pay your attention, folks, to the red line. This is the Semmeringbahn, and this is actually where we are now, Peerbach Canal. This little branch here to this station, Higher Schwang, Hirschwang. I'm gutted they didn't add that, man. It would have been a nice little extension to the route. Gutted they didn't add that. All this though, you know, going here or this bit down here, you know, I'm not bothered about that. It would be awesome if we had all of it in the game, but in particular to the Semmeringbahn, I just wish we had that little, you know, I imagine it's quite a bit of mileage to that station, but it would have been cool to have it, no question about it. Right, I'm going to get back in the cab before the game shouts at me, and then I can have my explore via the external camera. Let's get back in the cab and sit in the driver's seat. You do have the controls back here for your safety systems. WTB remote, CIFA, and LZB, even though you don't need to use it on this route. But you get PZB. I'm not going to try though, not today.
Zugbeeinflussung.
I think I need to turn the brightness up a little bit on the screen. There we go, it's a bit better. Right, now I can get out the camera. Right, let's have a look around. Scenery don't look too shabby.
Okay.
Oh, go away, Siri. Stupid phone. That don't look too shabby, does it? That don't look too bad. That's not too bad at all. This train is out of service. It's maybe not quite ready to go just yet. Is that the station building? I don't think so. Car park here, don't look too bad. Looks pretty good. This must be the station building. Don't look too bad. No signage out the front though. I'm surprised at that. Got the buses like I said earlier, so that's good. Got a fallen log or tree right next to a cycling route. Oh, you've got a cemetery. That I did not expect to see. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I didn't expect that, but well, I mean, it's there, I suppose. It's better than not having one at all. So that's accurate, I suppose. Road into the town there, and you got some houses over there in the distance. It's not too bad. This building don't look too bad either. Got some construction work, it seems, taking place here. We've just demolished something, it seems, and local industry, I suppose. Maybe some freight train stop off here. Yeah, not too bad at all. cited again, the branch line to Hirschwang is not operated by OPB. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I wonder who operates it then. Deutsche Bahn, maybe? That's intriguing me now. Wonder who operates it then. Let me see if I can. Hirschberg, no. Don't know how you spell it. I think it's S. Don't go too fast. Speed limit of 80 coming up though. It's the fastest speed limit we've had in quite a while. S. Hirschwang Station. Can't read that one, innit? Austria. Is there not any trains to go to that section? No? None at all. No. Well, apparently, according to my maps, there is no train service. It doesn't exist. Well, surely it must do. This is a heritage railway. Surely not. Really be a heritage railway? Oh, interesting if it would be. Wow. I'll have to have a look at that when I finish the stream. It's quite intrigued me. This is a different gauge of track, maybe. I'm not too sure. The next station stop is Glognitz, which is just under 5 kilometers away. And the twisty, mountainous section of track or route will end, and then we will soon be on the high speed, reasonably fast. That is a section of the route. It's kind of the racetrack style of route, let's say. Just decrease the speed a little bit as we're coming up to the speed limit of 70 kilometers per hour. Gradients are slowly easing as well. The countryside, and the mountain scenery, in this early morning light, it really doesn't look too shabby. Is it Niedertalbahn or Blackpool Branch, this kind of level of scenery? I wouldn't compare it to Blackpool Branches because it's not really set in a scenic, mountainous, landscape. Niedertalbahn, I suppose, is kind of comparable. It's set in the countryside, isn't it? So, farmland and forest and all that jazz. I'd say it probably doesn't look as good as Niedertalbahn, but it's certainly above Dovetail's average. I think that's fair to say. So far. What's the station we're coming up to now? This is not Glognitz, it's another station. Person's got a cup of tea. Got a clock there, it's nice. School clock. This is the station of, I'm going to butcher this name, Schlogmur, right next to a little substation by the looks of it. Hey. Oh cool, you got the ÖBB sign down there. That's a lot of steps. No lift required, it seems. Unless there is a lift. No, no lift at all. Damn, steep, steep, steep. You've got a little underpass here as well, so you have a platform. Some graffiti, it's cool, it's nice. It really don't look too shabby. You know, it's nice to see, you know, if you're on foot in first person mode and you go down to the bottom of the steps and you see the train pulling into the platform. I do like that. It reminds me of the London Overground was it South Tottenham, wasn't it, when you go down to road level or ground level, you see the train, you know, crossing the bridge, pulling into the station, you hear the doors opening in the distance, and you know, go up the steps or lift and get onto the train. It's quite cool. Oh, we're really running late now. My gosh, probably holding up a lot of traffic on the Semmeringbahn pass. I don't even know how long the stream's been going on for. Is it like an hour or something? How long has it been going on for? Oh, just over an hour and 7 minutes. That's not too bad. I mean, I have work tomorrow, but it's not too bad. It's only 4 hours tomorrow, so that's okay. So I'm going to stay up a little bit later tonight. Plus my mum doesn't come in until like near midnight, so I've got to keep an eye out in here out anyway for the front door, so I've got to mess around and play with this a bit more. Ooh, this looks like a good bit of route. Where are we now? But that's very interesting. We just looks like another line or bit of line has just joined us. Not sure what that is. Let's have a look. Very industrial area, certainly in a more built up area, there's no doubt about that. These look good. Don't look too shabby. Shrubs and bushes and grass growing out of the wall there. I'm going to stop the train just in case, run into a red or something like that. So we've just come from the Semmeringbahn Pass itself on the right. What's on the left here? What's going on over here? Oh, it just stops. Oh, there's a big lump of gravel, it seems, or terrain that's just been dumped on the tracks there. Oh dear, that's not good. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that's a bit irritating. Right, well, it seems like a busy interchange for freight. Definitely freight. I don't think is there a station around here? Have we missed a station? Oh no, Glognitz is right in front of us. Jesus, not looking where I'm going. Do apologise. This is Glognitz. I do apologise. Go, 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 go. Yeah, we're wheel spinning. Glognitz, free platforms, it seems.
Türfreigabe.
I don't think I'll do a service with that Talent 1 multiple unit. I don't think I need to, really. I can have a look at the different service types, but I don't think I need to do a service with it. So this is Glognitz. It seems a major freight interchange. Freight comes and freight goes, it seems, from Glognitz. It's nice glass exterior. Oh, it's for the lift. Does the lift work? You can see the inside of it. Maybe it does work. To ground level. What will go down here then? Okay, I don't think it takes you to outside the main station. I'm getting lost and stuck in Glognitz. So what's going on here? We've got a car transporter train ready to go somewhere. Got a manifest freight, it seems, containers. I've noticed this on this route. You get an interesting mixes now of containers, tankers, and some other wagons as well. You can see in the distance. That's quite cool. Got a couple of tourist locomotives ready to haul some containers down to Wiener Neustadt or wherever. So yeah, this is definitely if you want to see the freight stuff, the freight scene, come to Glognitz. Only got a couple of tracks down here. I imagine you can't shunt wagons into this bit, but yeah, it's good to see. Got some construction going on, it seems. Building something. Local industry probably expanding its business. Anyway, as far as facilities go, you've car park again, doesn't look too bad. The road don't look too bad. Lamppost, pavement, that's not bad. Got some cars going on the road, that's good. Got a ramp to the platform there. Got the clock. It's the wrong clock, it's a DB clock, unless Deutsche Bahn do operate some services in this area. And fair play. PIS screen, you've got... It's a very low roof. My god. What's that? Bahnhof? There's a Glognitz Bahnhof, maybe? You got a clock there, that's cool, I like that. But it's the wrong time though. It says it's 3 o'clock when it's 6:32 in the morning. So the clock's a bit broken, unless it's a static, then fair play, I'll let it off. Yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. I've seen a hell of a lot worse. No doubt about that. Train Lover 76, hey, how are you? Nice to see you, hope you're well. Just taking my first look at the Semmeringbahn in Austria. The next and final stop is Wiener Neustadt. I might actually do one talent service that maybe tackles the faster section of the line. Because we're going to be getting up to considerable speed now. 150 kilometers per hour. We're wheel spinning. Right, off we go. "26 kilometers to go, Wiener Neustadt." Now we can really open up the taps. You can see the road there, running alongside the railway. It's cool. Did notice as I was peeking out the window, a bit of grass texture was bleeding onto the road, which wasn't good. It was a bit of a downhill section, more than I thought. Wow. Whoa, we're going too fast now. Getting a bit carried away with the speed. No, it seems to be more just terrain seems to be certainly more level, let's say, more flat. So we're obviously not caressing through the mountains of Semmering, or mountain pass of Semmering, that is. Got a river we just went over there. Rare glimpse of water on this route. Cider King, the branch line to Hirschwang is not operated by ÖBB, much less with the 4024s. The Hollandtalbahn. There is a bus operated by a local railway society, the OGLB. Interesting. I'll definitely have a look at that. The Hollandtalbahn. I'll see what that's all about when the stream is finished. There's a station charging through. I think on the faster section, excluding Wiener Neustadt, obviously, how many stations are there on the faster section? Let's call it that. I don't think there's many. 1, 2, 3, 4 stations. Okay, it's not too bad. Speed limit has increased to 160 kilometers per hour, so let's increase the power to maximum and reach that speed. We're over way late. Over 10 minutes late at the moment. There's another station. Like I said, I'll inspect those stations at close quarters when I'll take a Talent 1 on the faster section. Speaking of the devil, there it is there. I'll do that just one service, I think, going up to Glognitz or something like that, and then I think I'll call it a day, because there's no point doing local services covering the entire route, otherwise this stream will go on forever. If I had tomorrow off, then I could happily carry on for hours, but I unfortunately can't. Never mind. Even the running sounds, of this locomotive, of the train itself, it sounds pretty good. You can hear, the creaking and squeaking and clickety-clack sounds and that. I do like that. But yeah, definitely this is the best version of the Taurus locomotive in Train Sim World. Sounds are definitely a big improvement. There can be no question about it. And obviously, the differences in the cab help as well, having, screens instead of your more traditional dials that we've had on the other versions of the 182. Certainly was a welcome change. Dovetail could have easily skipped on changes to the cab interior, but they've done it, so kudos to them. Another station. Really pleased that Dovetail have actually extended the route from Glognitz to Wiener Neustadt. It's nice to get the train up to speed. Like I said earlier, it's nice to have that feeling of two different types of routes two experiences in one route, really. It's quite nice. Just over 10 kilometers to go until Wiener Neustadt Hauptbahnhof. I'm looking forward to seeing what the, I suppose, main terminus of the route is going to be like. Hopefully good. I do have a cup of tea and some biscuits, but I've been exploring for so long, I've forgotten about it, and obviously my tea is now stone cold. Well, that's my own fault, never mind. Ah, lovely. I'm just going to have a look at the that's branch line. That Saito Kimpert, the Hollandtalbahn. I must look at that. See what it's like. Hollandtalbahn. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on, this is it's the wrong one, is it? That goes oh, it's from Germany. Oh, that's not the right one. I'm looking at the wrong one. Oopsie daisy. Austria. Ah, here we go, the Hollandtal Railway. Oh, it's a narrow gauge electric railway. Who operates it then? Peerbach Hirschwang GmbH. The Austrian Society for Local Railways. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's only 3 miles. Oh, that's not too bad. Well, I don't look too shabby at all. It's got some decent rolling stock. E1, E3 electric locomotives. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, isn't that cool? I like that. Oh, that's so cool. Wouldn't it be nice to have that in the game as well? That'd be fantastic. Right, not too far now from the final stop. Let's start applying the brakes. Got some freight now on the right hand side. Big freight yard, huge freight yard, my god. Definitely haven't examined that. Frame rate is stuttering a little bit, I'm noticing. It's not totally smooth in this area, probably because of the sheer amount of freight that's taking up that yard. Okay, here we are, coming into Wiener Neustadt Hauptbahnhof. Here we are, Journey's End. We've finally made it.
Türfreigabe. Türfreigabe.
Just creep along a little bit more. We're nearly 21 minutes late, but we've made it though. Ooh, brake, 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 brake. Here we are, Journey's End. Made it. This is Wiener Neustadt Hauptbahnhof, the biggest station by far on the route. Certainly with the most amount of platforms. Look at that, running right next to the road. Local shop, there's a freight wagons right there. Got the car park there. Instant access to the station. Right, that's an interesting building there. It looks reasonably new. So you've got a fair few platforms here. Not sure how many, to be totally honest with you. More than 10, I'd say. You got a little stabling yard sidings for a couple of Talent 1 units and some tankers. That yard, I mean, before Wiener Neustadt station, that was huge. Lots of freight, no doubt. And there's a train coming in now, look. Yeah, I mean, that yard, I mean, that is just massive. I don't know, which one? That one there. Huge yard. I've never seen a yard. Reminds me of Sandpatch Grade or Horseshoe Curve. Just absolutely huge. What's this yard here? Is that another yard? My gosh. Yeah, obviously then the route would carry on. Going to the likes of Wien. And I was about to say Graz, but I don't think it would go to Graz in Austria, would it? No. That bit of road don't look too good. Then you got the bus depot here. There's no like big station sign on the front of the building or something like that. There's a multi-storey car park on the other side of the train station. Right. Before we do, I just want to have a look at the yard. Not the maybe if the frame rate's too taxing on the game, then maybe not the massive freight yard, but I think it was like a yard before a yard, so there's one just outside the station, I think. That interested me. See if I could find it. Go in the camera. See what we can find. Local industry there. It's good. Some empty log wagons. Good. There's a dog. That gave me a fright. And it's a huge yard. I mean, look at this. It's massive. Absolutely huge. Wowee, it's a maze. It really is a maze. Good grief. Imagine doing some shunting in this yard. In this area for that matter. You've got some locomotives parked here at the side. It's cool. I think there's even more parked at the side down there. Yeah, you could just make them out. Don't think I could take the map any further, but you can see some more units parked over there. And oh, look at this! You got like a little roundhouse. Oh, that's cool. A couple of locomotives parked there. Oh, that's cool. And the turntable, which you can operate by the looks of it. Oh, that's cool. That's a nice touch. This is the main area where the OBB tourist locomotives, excuse me, are kept at night. That's good, along with most of their Talent 1 stock. Got some freight here as well. A lot of freight. More Talent 1s as well. Wow, wowee. Maybe not. Let's get back to the locomotive in case the game decides to break. But yeah, I mean, that's just the first yard. I mean, you got that yard there. That is a monster. I mean, look at that. My gosh. Man, freight. Jesus. No wonder the frame rate was struggling a little bit as I was approaching Wiener Neustadt. That yard is absolutely humongous. Man, imagine doing shunting in that yard. Jeez Louise, man. Yeah, if you like freight, then yeah, it's certainly got you covered. It's like Sandpatch Grade, but in Austria. With passenger obviously thrown into the mix as well. I think we'll watch the doors close. I haven't even heard or seen the doors close on the BMZ coaches. We will get there. Hang on. Sadly, I can't speed up the external camera. You used to, but Dovetail took it away for some reason. That's a nice pylon there. Well, of course, the bridge. I forgot about the bridge. I wonder if you can actually walk on 7. Well, I don't think you could if it's just to the car park. There's no point, is there? But yeah, let's see the doors close, shall we? Oh, we did make a noise. Sadly, no bong as you had on the DBR 101, but yeah, that concludes the service from Graz to Wien Hauptbahnhof. We stopped at Semmering, Peerbach, Reichenau, Glognitz, and finally stopped at Wiener Neustadt. That took me, I imagine, just over an hour and 30 minutes, but obviously I spent lots of time just looking around, really. Let's see if I can do a Talent 1 service going to Glognitz or something like that, and then I'll call it a day. Just want to explore those stations and, on the faster section of the line. Let's see. No, I think I found, just going off topic, Dovetail apparently updated Hauptstrecke Hamburg-Lübeck's journey mode, like correcting some texts or thumbnails, but yeah, I think they've done the exact opposite. They've completely broken the journey mode on Hauptstrecke Hamburg-Lübeck is completely broken because you can't access it in any way, shape, or form. It's completely gone. So don't know what Dovetail did there. They did a bad thing, that's for sure. Right, ÖBB 4024 in these services. Peerbach, Reichenau to Wiener Neustadt. That's not what I want. Nope. Wiener Neustadt to Mutterschlag. Go on, that will take you some time. Talent for this, talent for that. No smaller ones. Oh, you got Peerbach, Reichenau to Mutterschlag. Okay. Let's see if I can go into the timetable. So I mean, you got 253 services. It's not too bad for a mountains kind of route. Obviously, you got the 47 there, doing that bizarre passenger service. Same goes for the 103 and the Vectron. There you are. Budapest to Mutterschlag. It's the Vectron Express, as it's called. Let's have a look at the OBB. Prepare this unit for service. It's quite good. Just trying to have a look, see if we've got any smaller sections. Is that literally all it is? Just back and forth? Yeah. Alright, fair enough. Then I'll go back into the journey mode and do said service that appeared earlier. Where's it gone? CityJet Express. Peerbad Rica now to Wiener Neustadt. I don't want to do the whole journey, I just want to do a little bit. It's a bit of rain, that's no good. Alright, we'll do that one. As long as it's not dead at night or something like that. Please don't let it be in the early hours. It's not. It's at just gone 10 AM. That's fine. As long as it's not raining, that's fine. Right. It's literally exactly the same as the one from Esbjerg and the one from Salzburg Rosenheim. It's identical. There is nothing new, nothing that's been changed, nothing that's different. It's exactly the same, which just all the more makes it more frustrating that we really should have had a CityJet or a Railjet in place, or instead of this multiple unit. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, I like the Talent One. I like the way it looks. I like the way, you know, exterior, interior. The PIS displays, you know, work. That's good. You know, obviously, it's just the sounds are just a major problem with it. You know, if the sounds were, you know, not just ripped sounds from the Talent 2, instead of having maybe close to kind of accurate recordings of a Talent 1, I can accept that. I mean, the fact there isn't even a sound mod for this on the Train Sim community website probably speaks volumes of how difficult it is to get some, you know, decent sound recordings of a Talent 1 in action, both exterior and interior. So yeah, this is going, yep, it's the right type of service. CityJet Express, Peerbad Rica now. It's a single unit. I think you can do maybe services with 2 units connected together, not too sure. This is going to Wien Hauptbahnhof from Villach. It's probably one of the longer trains, is it? I don't think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, oh no, 5 again. Fair enough. That train's actually departing same time as us. Let me just check, see what. Do we actually have any stops? We do. Oh good, that's all I want to do. I won't do all, I might do the whole service. I just want to do mainly this section of the line, just to see what the other stations have in offer. Peerbad Rica now is a long way away, actually. I'm not sure if I have enough time to do it. Sardokin, Hepats, nicely done, Spursborough, thank you. Let's see how the Talent 1 tackles these reasonably steep gradients, particularly on the faster section of the line. It would have been nice if Dovetail at least tried. I mean, if they can't get accurate recordings of the Talent 1, then try at least to create. I'm sure they've got some pretty sophisticated sound equipment, or, you know, maybe, dare I say, you know, musical instruments, you know, like keyboard and equipment and all that stuff. Surely they could create at least some new sounds. You know, surely to goodness. use musical instruments or something to create at least some new noises or something, you know, like you did with like Dovetail did with the Taurus locomotive, you know. Well, crossing there. Well, we're coming up to the humongous yard on the left-hand side. Yeah, big yard, big yard. Yeah, I mean, you could haul so many types of freight: manifest, coal, cement, oil, intermodal, logs, I think even. So there's a fair bit of variation when it comes to the freight side of things. I mean, you can do services, I think, you know, just one full run of the Semmeringbahn freight-wise, but I think you can do some freight services which are split into like separate parts, you know, part 1, part 2, etc. I'm not sure if you can do some shunting, though. It would be interesting. And it's quite in depth, the freight timetable. A lot of services you can do, not just with the Taurus locomotives, but the Vectron as well, which is cool. Well, it's better to do freight services with those two locomotives than the 185.2. You know, I like the 185.2 is not a bad locomotive from Deutsche Bahn. It's just getting a little bit long in the tooth now, you know. Prefer something different, a bit more fresh. I mean, the 187 ain't too bad either from Skyhook, especially since they addressed its sounds. May not be perfect, but certainly damn sight better than the sounds it originally came with when it released in 2021. So the first station is, I'm going to butcher this name, Egden am Steinfeld, which is just over 3 kilometers away. So I'm doing well, we're not at full pace. Noticing there's again a little muddy like road track on the right hand side there. It's been following us. Right, we're going to start braking as we are approaching the station. I've never stopped at this station, so I hope I'm going to stop at the station and not overshoot. Should be okay. This station will be interesting, particularly as it's set in amongst the trees, the forest. So quite cool. Certainly get a lot of variation in the scenery, you know, like down here at ground level, you know, amidst the trees, the countryside. Wiener Neustadt, obviously big. I don't know if Wiener Neustadt is a city or a big town. Imagine a big town. You know, a lot of, you know, platforms, empty stop moves taking place. Obviously, huge freight yard. Sort of fairly busy hive of activity. Whereas that, you know, on the flat bit, you know, you see the mountains in the distance. I imagine, you know, out in the countryside, peaceful, quiet, hearing the birds chirping away, etc. Or rustling from the trees. Here we are at St. Egden or Eigden am Steinfeld. Butchered that name up completely. But here we are. Let's have a look around. Got your ticket machines there. Good. OBP branded as well. Got that one. It's a real picture of that. Not sure what station, but it looks good. Oh, it's a main road. Oh wow. Okay, that caught me by surprise. So you can access the road. Got up the steps. It's good. This bit of road don't look brilliant, must admit. Got the muddy track there. It does not. This bit of road here does not look good. The road down there, that looks fine. This does not look good. All this bit. This needs to be blended in a bit better. Yeah, this is the station car park. Yeah, it don't look good. Yeah, this does not look good. Other than that, station looks pretty good. PI's displays work. Nice branding. Gonna have a car park here. Just I don't know, mud. Yeah, don't look quite good. No, this don't look too good. Yeah, I don't think the station has had much love or care put into it as the others. This house don't look too bad though. I mean, car's certainly getting taken over by the weeds. But it's not too bad. Yeah, station's okay. Scenery around it, not so good. Needs a bit of work done to it, that's for sure. Room for improvement. The next stop is Neunkirchen. No, it just says no. Okay. That's the next station stop. It's just over 5.5 kilometers away. Wonder why it says no. Maybe the station staff don't like trains coming to their station. None shall pass, none shall enter. Very small trees there. At the side. Cute little small trees there. Those are the kind of trees you want for Christmas. I mean, I must say, the... Oh, hello. We've got no power for some reason. What's going on here? Main circuit breakers come open for some reason. Ooh, very bizarre. Must have a neutral section there. Oh, we didn't have that with the tourist locomotive. Very bizarre. I was going to say the overhead wiring and signals. They look very, very good. I've just noticed while approaching the station, I would advise we stop. Alright, coming up to Nyon Kirchen, no. Surely it doesn't say no like on the station signage. Is that not like a mistake or something? Just call it Nyon Kirchen? We'll find out. Get on the brakes. Let's have a look around at Neunkirchen. Again, next to the main road. There's another road here. It's a bit better. It's better than the other one, that's for sure. Is this the car park? I think. Not really any entrance or exits to it, but that don't look good. No. Yeah, there's no like road markings like entrance or exit or anything like that. That doesn't look too good. Is this a station building? Oh, no idea. Negative, Ghost Rider. Looks like a shopping centre or anything. Was that a block of flats or a college? Not too sure. But yeah, big station platforms here, very long ones again. Yeah, Neunkirch, no. Pretty industrial area by the looks of it. Is this the station building? Seems to be a bit dull out here. Very dull. It seems as though there's not much love and attention, care has not been put to the stations at the lower level than on the Semmeringbahn pass itself. Oh dear, this does not look as good. Alright, let's see if the station itself can look pretty decent. It does, I mean, it don't look too bad. You got the markings there on the signpost. It's pretty good. Lift and steps and the exit. Okay, it's not too bad. Not too bad.
Bitte achten Sie auf den Abstand zwischen Zug und Bahnsteigkante.
Right, let's go to the next stop, which is Turnitz. I think that's how you say it correctly. Just having a look at the England qualify for the knockout stages of a game to spare after Spain beat Albania. Oh, interesting. Wonder how does that work then? How have England made it through to the knockout stages when none of the teams have played? Interesting. Yeah, what was I saying? Turnitz is just over 3.5 kilometres away. Transport legend. On the title it says oh god, it's the auto chat what's it called, auto keyboard thing messed around my titles. I do apologise. I will correct that straight away. I've been streaming the game all this time. I've never noticed it. I do apologise. I will change that immediately. How unprofessional of me. He says. Semmeringbahn. Jeez, I do apologise. It's the first time I've done that. I've never done that before. I've incorrectly written the title of the route I'm taking a look at. That is embarrassing. I do apologise. I don't want to discard the changes, you stupid thing. Hang on a minute, see if I can save it. Semmeringbahn. Save. Should save. Changes saved, apparently. We will see. I'm going too fast. Too busy messing around with titles. Oh, this is going to be some stop. Whoa. We made it. That's crazy. Just in time. Here we are at Turnitz. This looks much better. Got an industrial area here, local industry. Good. Yeah, much better. This car park's much better. Trees as well. It's good to see. This is definitely a much better improvement. You can tell when Dovetail put time and care into a station when you just look at the car park. Albeit I say that, and then, oh dear, this bit of road don't look good at all. Oh dearie me. Eek, that's not good. Well, this bit don't look too bad. The town, the village itself, you know, it's alright. Yeah, Dovetail, they need to get their road textures better. Look at that. We're in 2024, not 2004. Got your pink and blue and purpley bicycles there. Why are they those colours? I have no idea. Station building looks okay. Again, the ambience with the birds and wildlife sounds really unique. Certainly got a unique soundtrack as far as birds and animals go. There's a train coming through. Freight manifest. Yeah, a lot more platforms as well, this station. This is good. Look at this. You know, go from one extreme to the other. Bad bit and then a good bit. Look at all these shrubs, weeds. They could have left it all blank and bare, but Dovetail chose to put some foliage down. Good on them. Got some sidings here, which I doubt will ever be used to whatever industry is served by the railway. Another car park for the employees maybe that work in these warehouses. Yeah, it's not bad, you know. Certainly the best station I've seen on the faster section of the line since we've departed Wiener Neustadt. There can be no complaints about that. Sarukin, which is about what I expect, as it was a late decision to add this section. Oh, was there a late decision? Okay, I didn't know the reason why Dovetail. I didn't know Dovetail said it was a late edition. I'm glad they added it though. They could do updating it though. There's no question about that. I'm sure they can mess around with it. Well, if they choose to mess around and correct bits of the scenery, there's no doubt about it. The next stop is well, I don't know how you say that. Ports. Schlag? I'm not sure. I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm not sure. Transport Legend, are you PlayStation 5? Yes, I am PlayStation 5. I have a cool trick for controlling trains. Hold R3 and press the left button. Keep pressing it to change camera angles. It's a game changer. Hold the R3 and press the left button. Depends which controller configuration I'm in the classic one, and I don't think you can do that. I want to try it, but obviously, yeah, I won't be able to do it because obviously I'm in the classic controller configuration. But I imagine if you're in the immersive control configuration, I imagine your little trick would work. I think I've done it before, but obviously I've just never used that controller configuration. Definitely a good tip. Transport Emperor, apologise. I do it all the time. Throw my pad out the door when I get autocorrected from Hauptstrecke Rhein Rare to Hauptstrecke Rhein Rare. Yeah, silly autocorrect these days. They're coming in way too fast. Time to use that emergency brake again, I think. Never mind. Passengers, I'll just have to walk a little bit more. But yeah, here we are, the next station, right next to
Vorsicht an den Türen und bei der Abfahrt des Zuges.
is this someone's
Schließen automatisch.
garden? Yeah, I think it is. Growing their vegetables. Good to see. That I didn't expect. My God, they've got their own set of allotments here. Good grief. Was it a garden centre maybe? I'm not sure, but that's a surprising touch. This is a pot shack. That's the station. Very unique station. Very old school kind of station. The blue, old school blue like house almost. That didn't sound good. Had a bang and a crash from downstairs. It's probably the cats messing around. Yeah, wow. That's an interesting station. Nice to see some old school architecture for a change. Oh dear, got a broken piece there for the electrics. Cover board, if I imagine. Yeah, this is a bit better. Road doesn't look too bad this time. Car park's okay for the, imagine, the local workers here. Got your bicycle racks, I should say, not wraps. Cars can park there. This isn't too bad. You can see in the distance the mountains getting ever closer. The Semmeringbahn Pass looming in the distance. Transport legend, the one route where the train was done good, but not the scenery around Wiener Neustadt Yard and Peerbach Canal is bland ass. Wiener Neustadt Yard, I haven't explored Wiener Neustadt Yard. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, I'm not as fussed if the yard isn't, you know, super detailed or as detailed as the you know, the passenger stations and its surrounding infrastructure. Like if there's a bit of, you know, crap on the around the yards, you know, like bits of coal or logs, pipes, wheelbarrows, bricks, and, you know, NPCs, you know, workmen hanging around, and, you know, that I consider to be acceptable. I haven't looked around that yard in truth, but when I went past it, coming out of Wiener Neustadt and into Wiener Neustadt, I must say, it kind of blew me away as to how big the yard is. There was a lot of trains in there. I mean, so much so I think the frame rate took a bit of a hit, which I wasn't expecting. But yeah, big yard, Wiener Neustadt yard. But for what were you saying earlier? The Peerbach Canal. Land scenery, I'm not too sure. I'm just trying to think back to my first impressions of it. It looked okay to me, to be honest. I mean, maybe the lighting kind of took away, or shone and wavy, bad, I suppose, bland scenery, as you say. I personally think the scenery, like the station itself, the infrastructure, I mean, it didn't look too bad. Maybe the car park and the road infrastructure maybe looked a little bit bland, but to me, I think it didn't look too shabby. I've certainly seen a lot worse. There's no doubt about that. Just look to West Cornwall, local from Rivet Games, and you know what I mean. The next stop is Glognitz. Pick up the pace a little bit. I'm not sure if I will carry on this journey. I only wanted to explore the stations on the faster section of the line. Not sure how many more stations we've got. We've got Peerbadge. Is the next station stop Peerbadge Recanal? No, I think we've got maybe, I'm not sure. I'll have a think about it. Just conscious of time, that's all. Plus I might have to go investigate what the kittens are doing downstairs, banging and crashing around in the kitchen. As long as they don't break anything glass wise, that's fine. Need to break them now. But yeah, as far as my views on what was it? Peerbadge Recanal. I think if you just scroll back a little bit in the stream where I took a look at the Peerbadge Recanal, because I actually stopped at that station on a passenger service, then I'm sure you can hear my views on that station. So I took a look at it first time. But here we are at Glognitz. Passengers disembarking, that's good. Not sure if the rush hour passenger tech is incorporated onto this route, but I imagine it would be. There's not too many services on this route. I mean, you know, over 250. I mean, it's quite good. More than I expected. There's no doubt about that. I've just noticed I've had the tail lights on the whole time. Oh no. Oh, how silly of me. Jesus. Dearie me. Alright, you know what, let's carry on. Let's go. There's only one more stop after this one. Next stop is Schlogmoor. That's how you say it correctly. Let's go. Come on, train. Let's go. Yeah, this service actually terminates at Peerbadge Recanal, so I'll take a look at that station again, just to double check. Transport legend, the genuine ambiance of this route is good. I absolutely agree with you there. Just until you get to Glognitz, it's a slow drag, not a fun. I prefer the fast bit at the end of 160 to 140 kilometers per hour. Fair enough, fair enough. I like both, really. I like the slow, challenging nature of the Semmering Pass itself, and obviously the faster racetrack style section going from Glognitz to Wiener Neustadt. Transport just bought Clinchfield Railroad today for £5. Oh my god, what a bargain that is. What waste of £5? It's so slow in boarding and the scenery is. Don't get me started on the F7. No. F7. Clinchfield. I actually quite like Clinchfield. I mean, I'm a bit of a sucker for old school routes, you know, set in the 1970s, 1980s kind of period. And, you know, I did expect it to be a slow, you know, coal hauler, mainly of a route. Yeah, it is slow. And yeah, there's only so much you can do on it, but, you know, you do get a lot of... You get a lot out of the route, especially with its services, you know, conducting particularly some very interesting services, be it shunting or coal hauling, the very mines and through, you know, it's not really a mountain pass, it's kind of through the hills and the hollows through Appalachia, but yeah, the branch lines are certainly steal the show because they're just so varied in the terrain and are very much a challenge, there's no doubt about that. Those gradients are steep. SD40 is okay, it's pretty much just like a normal SD40-2, just a nice Clinchfield Railroad livery and a new horn. F7 looks great. The sound is it's okay, it's a mixed bag, some of it's good, some of it not so good. Yeah, I mean, Clinchfield, I think I'd give it out of 10. I mean, I haven't played it in donkey's years, but when I first played it, I thought it was, you know, it delivered what it said on the tin for me. You know, I was coming into that route expecting, you know, a slow, you know, obviously freight only, coal mostly hauling route. It's quite big. I mean, I think altogether, if you add the main line and the branches, I think it's one of the longer routes in the game. I think it's 66 miles, so it's a lot of track mileage. I think one complaint I'll have about that route is there's nowhere near enough shunting, particularly with the main line. You know, coal loading areas or tipples and mines on the main line. That is one area it's lacking. Certainly could do with some additional loco add-ons, like a GP7 or a U-boat U36C. That would be really, really cool. The next and final stop is Payerbatch Recanal, where this stream will also come to an end. It's been a long one. Feels like a long one. I don't know how long the stream's been going on for, actually. Over 2 hours, 15 minutes. Fasted, long enough for me. Sodekin is mostly US freight routes, unfortunately, even in real life. Absolutely right. Sodekin is correct. Transport Legend, old friend of mine once asked what my favourite distributor said platform branches, yeah. He said best is obviously Horseshoe Curve. Well, I mean, if he likes Horseshoe Curve, and that's his view, that's his feeling, I suppose. You can't make people like the route that you prefer. If he likes Horseshoe Curve, if he thinks it's his favourite route, and fair enough, he's a happy bunny. He's got his wish, hasn't he? I mean, it's the only Norfolk Southern route in the game. God. Maybe we do need another freight-only US route at some point. It's been a while since we've had, you know, any, really. God. It's a bit of a fright, isn't it? I imagine we will get one. Not too far down the line. Maybe the back end of this year, who knows. We are long overdue one, I must admit. Which brand we will get it on, I'm not too sure. Maybe Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific. CSX, I'd definitely love to see another CSX route. It's been way too long since we've had one. Well, last time we had a CSX route was when Train Sim World was a thing. Without Sandpatch Grade and CSX, Train Sim World would not exist. So, about time we have another one. Or one with mixed with passenger, maybe. Will this be the last run of a stream end? Yes, it will be. Yes. Once we've stopped at, we terminated at Peerbach Rekanau, I will end the stream. I can't go on. I mean, if I didn't work tomorrow, then yeah, I could go on for ages. But unfortunately, I can't. But yeah, as far as the next stream is concerned, that will be this Sunday. The what date are we on? The 30th of June, 2024. We'll be taking a look at the brand new DBBR 218, which will release tomorrow for Hauptstrecke Hamburg. Let's get on the brakes. End of the line. No wonder that PIS board wasn't working there. We're so late, it's probably forgotten about us, thinking we're not going to reach it. But here we are at Peerbach Rekanau, end of the line. So this is a local service then that goes back and forth Peerbach Rekanau to Wiener Neustadt. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, let's have a look around the station again, just to recalculate my thoughts. I mean, well, it's mostly set in the mountainous countryside, isn't it? I personally don't think it's too bad, to be honest. I've seen worse, much worse. You know, the road network don't look too terrible. You know, you've got some buses here at least, you know, cars. You've got one presumably trying to turn round, is not doing a good job. Yeah, maybe the road texture itself don't look consistent, let's say. But, you know, the station building, I can't complain. This is not the worst station on the route. There's no question about that. So I think this route, this station is okay. It's decent. You know, got some 3D grass as well, which I always appreciate. So yeah, Peerbach Rekanau station. Again, I think it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, Transport Legend. See you later. Take care, and hope you have a good week. That took me just under 42 minutes. We stopped at St. Eid or Egden am Steinfeld, Neunkirchen Turnitz, Potsach, Glognitz, Schlogmol, and finally terminated at Peerbach Rekanau. So yeah. Overall, what shall I give it out of 10? Honestly, it's not too bad. It really isn't. It's better than I expected, I must admit. The scenery itself, let's just touch on the route scenery. I think overall, it's not too bad. I've seen much worse. From, you know, Mutterschlag to, let's say, Glognitz, the route scenery is not too bad. Far from it. It's not too bad. It's definitely a step up from the norm, which is good. The faster section of the route from Glognitz to Wiener Neustadt, that could do with a bit more work. There's no question about it. But, you know, Wiener Neustadt station and the yard itself, you know, it's good to see. There's lots of trains in there in the yards, you know, massive yard there for Wiener Neustadt. And the station itself looked pretty good as far as I could tell. Services, no, I've got no complaints. It's good to see a large variety of services for the tourist locomotive, be it freight, passenger, and obviously to have the Talent 1, at least, even though it's not the right type of train I want to see doing those services, you get to do some city, jet or railjet, local services across the route, which is pretty good as well. And obviously having other locomotives sub in, your 47s and the Vectrons and the 103, that's a good touch as well. Touching on the Taurus, by far it's the best version of the Taurus locomotive we've had in Train Sim World. Sounds in particular have been given a big improvement, which is good. The coaches, albeit it doesn't have first class or the cafe coach, look okay. So yeah, the route is overall as a package, I'd give it, this DLC, I think a 7.5 out of 10. I think is decent. There is room for improvement. There's no doubt about that. I think what really would have really put the cherry on top of this cake that is the Semmeringbahn would have definitely been, having something brand spanking new to play with, either from a train perspective, like a city jet, a rail jet. If we had one of those instead of the Talent 1 alongside the improved Taurus locomotive, it would have got a much better score from me. But this is by far, I think, the best Austrian experience I've had in Train Sim World. Weirdly, I like it more to the S-Bahn-Vorarlberg. Salzburg-Rosenheim, obviously there's only a small chunk of that route in Austria. And obviously I haven't even taken a look at it, in-depth look at that route yet, which I will do in the not too distant future. But yeah, I had reasonably high expectations from it because I liked the fact, Semmeringbahn was coming to Train Sim World, and the original was being, the route was being extended, albeit it was in the last minute, to Wiener Neustadt. Having those kind of two route experiences in one, the slow, mountainous pass, tough gradients, and then the kind of high-speed, flat, racetrack-style section to Wiener Neustadt once you leave Glognitz. And overall, I think Dovetail have met my expectations. They haven't exceeded them, but they've certainly met my expectations. But yeah, definitely I recommend getting the Semmeringbahn route on a discount. It's certainly not worth £30 in the UK or $40 or 40-50 euros, whatever currency you use. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I look forward to playing with it more certainly in the next few days and weeks ahead. But that concludes the stream on the Semmeringbahn. If you'd enjoyed it, then feel free to hit the like button below. And if you've liked what you've heard or seen, and you've bumped into the stream or any of my content for the first time, then I'd really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. The next stream will be on Hauptstrecke Hamburg-Lübeck, which is quite an old German route now, but we're taking a look at something brand new, a new addition to that route, and that is TSG's hopefully excellent DBBR 218, a diesel mainline passenger locomotive, the first German diesel locomotive passenger-wise in Train Sim World. That should be a cracker. But yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.